This is part 10 of LA Noire, The White Shoe Slaying.
10A.
Oh yeah, shit, 10A.
Good. Is there going to be a white shoe nearby the naked, mutilated female body?
Improbable.
Some of these titles have been pretty tenuous.
Actually, all of these titles have been. I guess red lipstick had some meaning.
Gold Butterfly had some meaning. That was not really a...
Murder.
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Well, they did not waste any time with story details here. I have no idea what to expect.
Is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case.
I don't care. I don't go in
Right,
for letting
people will
gangsters
let
off
us
scot
We find mourning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fact, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up in San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to suffer.
You drove me up to Mulholland. And you did some-
Wrong door.
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be.
Or is it?
Greetings from sunny California. Stop.
Huh, is this the first time we've seen weather in the game?
Yeah, sure is. Which is actually appropriate. It's sunny most of the time in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I guess.
But you'd think with a noir film, we'd see more nighttime cases and more
First
rainy
the letter,
cases.
and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make the first pitch.
We crossed metaphors there a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless minnows play baseball, which they might.
Yeah, it already feels more noir with the gray and the rain. Apparently someone was saying that there's a black and white mode.
Oh yeah, we should try that.
Guy
I'll do
there
that for
will
the
lead
next
us
one.
up.
Cool.
The music was a little more noir for a moment there.
Yeah.
Now it's
I'm
picking up.
steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
Another
Just be
part.
another dead body. We used to sing for the gig when we work in homicide files.
Yeah, there's a definite ominous sense. Was that an oil rig?
Yeah, that's true in downtown
Phelps and
LA.
Galloway,
There are several.
homicide.
Huh.
Scene is
Fascinating.
secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body? Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death.
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Interesting.
All the cases have enough in common to be really disconcerting, but they're also
Yeah.
all different enough to be unique.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
That'll help identify her, presumably. Yeah, like this one... Like, this one is someone who wanted to murder and get away with it feels like. Just wanted the police to not be able to find anyone. It's the first time we've seen someone actually try and cover their tracks.
Yeah, even a little, even remote.
No good to me.
Really? You must be rolling in it.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Man, it's amazing what a gray sky does for this sort of creepy atmosphere.
Yeah, what time of day is this? It's midday, huh?
I guess? It doesn't look quite dark enough to be night.
I mean, we came from work, so...
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean
Drag
anything.
marks. Killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Really not much to go on here.
No. But let's look at some beer bottles anyway. You know what's interesting is that apparently every single person in Los Angeles who litters drinks the same brand of beer.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Or maybe it's that every other brand has instantly decomposing
now,
beer
Phelps.
bottles.
Or like a redemption value or something. Some sort of incentive.
Yeah, there you go. So that means that there must have been a homeless guy around here last night collecting. We should go try and figure out who that was.
I like it. The homeless killer.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful...
No way. Oh, that's awesome.
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I
He was
think
drinking
he
a
may have
green
had an
beer
accident
bottle?
in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
That could be a complete red herring.
Any ideas?
I'd say call it in.
And if you know me,
Alright,
we
might have
usually end
something
up
to get us
arresting
started.
complete red herrings.
Well, it's not you, it's the game. Yeah, I mean...
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks.
And if you're going there, could you pick up... They have not collected their mail from the post office box in weeks. They are very irresponsible hobos. You know what I think? I think that that woman just has, like, a tape recorder or record player or whatever, on which she's pre-recorded Just a Moment Detective. And she just, like, presses play anytime he calls.
Because it really is exactly
Yeah.
the same.
Well, I mean, have you seen the IT Crowd?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I was checking to see if there were any cars or side cases or anything along there that would be
Sure.
interesting,
Excuse me?
but
There was
I
no
didn't
message.
see any.
Where? On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on it. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow.
Can't be the same guy, is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messengers,
Yeah.
Rusty.
That was
Doesn't fit your
excellent.
pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
A rare moment of exemplary
I
driving.
need you
Yeah.
to take a left at the next corner.
Because that woman honestly felt a little bit like, oh, she's been worried about the hobo forever, and now she has an excuse to get the cops to go after him or something like that. More than any real sense that he was magical pop-in fan. Real sense that he was involved.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks.
That was a very detailed stocking display in the next window. Oxydol!
I'm gonna take my partner's advice. He said the rain stopped and I should change my suit. Much better.
Yeah, sure.
Phelps
I like
and
the
Galloway,
Hank shot. That was
LAPD.
cool.
We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look.
Well, stereotypes come from somewhere.
You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
Ooh, a ledger investigation. It's been a while.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Yeah, and this is the easiest ledger encounter you could ever imagine.
They're in order. I
like-
guess they would be, but
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
I'm not like looking for a pattern or
Yeah,
anything.
you're just-
I'm just like, I need a woman's name. I've got a number. I need a name.
they've got boxes of Oxydol all around this place. I think this may be like a mass murdering hideout.
So I hope no one in the threads alerts you to the surprise ending of the Oxydol murder at the end of the homicide case, because I think you're going to really enjoy that case when we finally get to it.
It's everywhere. It's a
I've
corporate
got a
thing.
feeling
They're
we're about to meet
insinuating
another
themselves.
wife killer.
You've always
Yeah.
got that feeling,
Well,
Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once.
Jesus, Phelps!
Like I said, rare moment.
Yeah.
of exemplary driving.
Yeah.
Please, please, for...
God damn it! We never got to hear the whole line.
But please,
Please,
please.
please.
Hello? Yes?
This is a pretty
Detectives
unnatural
Phelps and
door
Galloway.
opening.
Is your wife
Yeah,
home,
that was
sir?
weird.
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's
that...
procedure. You see to your girls.
First blush on the acting job?
On the acting job?
Yeah, does he seem sincere?
Don't know. Could be, maybe. We have so little to go on. I'm gonna...
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What a
What's the problem?
awful little girl.
Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
Yeah, we haven't really seen couples with children, huh?
Want to hear something
Yeah,
funny,
there
Carol?
was the girl in
Oh,
the
no, that's right, yeah.
Golden Butterfly.
The golden butterfly.
To
What?
check if she was a regular.
Really? Okay, I guess maybe she might have gone there after the party or something.
Wonder why the picture was turned down.
I mean, we know from the cutscene that she was probably drunk.
Probably nothing.
Probably isn't anything inside it that might be interesting.
Sometimes you just have to take the game's word for it.
Yep. What are you expecting to find in the kids' room?
Bloody
I don't
knife.
think this is any use
Yeah,
to us.
it's probably the younger girl. It's a killer if I ever saw one.
Rook to A6.
Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this
Or
dive.
maybe they went there once and they had lots of matches.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
Oh, that's sweet.
Boat.
Why did it zoom in on that?
I don't know.
I like it.
I think it's supposed to remind you of the fact that you saw a boat in the yard.
I'll be out of
in
your
the
way momentarily,
cutscene.
ladies.
It doesn't appear to be connected.
I like the style though. I call the kids in my classes ladies and gentlemen because it discomforts them a little bit, and I need every edge I can get.
So she went out without her handbag?
Well, she had at least one other handbag in her room.
At least she was spared that particular indignity.
Maybe she had more handbags. Okay, maybe not.
She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
Never mind. That's probably her actual handbag. Oxydol, Oxydol.
Lars was out in the rain last night.
Suspicious.
Well, so thus far, the suspicious elements are he was out in the rain and her photo of them was turned down.
Pinker can match the impression of the crime scene.
And those could potentially, if we ever hear back, a lot of the things like we should investigate connections and we never actually get a report.
Yeah, sure.
If you walk on the rake, does it swing up and hit you in the face?
Huh. Well, they do put a lot of detail into things like the shoe shining thing that we saw, so I wouldn't be surprised.
LA slapstick.
Looks like a match with the ligature.
Okay, that got real suspicious. Of course, that's apparently common marine rope in general, so.
Right, because the other guy had nautical ties too.
Mhm.
that we pinned down.
For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to
That is quite a tie
No.
that comes with this suit.
Everyone loved Teresa.
I know, right?
She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
It's probably a doubt thing, I guess.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
Well, he's doing the same thing as last time, so.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Totally not suspicious.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
He's not really carrying himself like
When was the
he's
last time
acknowledged
you
she
saw
is
your
dead.
wife?
Around
No.
8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to
No,
bed.
it doesn't seem like it's sunk in particularly.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
So I'm realizing now that the rain actually plays
We're out
into the
rain.
case.
You got soap, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. We could break the husband's story right now. Call in, get some uniforms dispatched to check out his alibi.
I mean, yes, you should do that. On the other hand, from a...
Operator, give me R&I.
From a narrative... I'll just
Putting you
wait.
through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am.
Interesting that they're not having you go do that yourself. An interrogation of a potential corroborating witness.
I think the case is long enough.
Appreciate your time.
I guess so. So there's certainly evidence against the husband, but
you drive.
From a narrative
Go
perspective, it seems too early,
Where
too
exactly
easy.
are we going?
Like, it looks too much like him now.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
And it does. It does feel like a true story. On the other hand, I want to know what the right answer to the first question would have been, because clearly she couldn't have been as popular as he pretended. And I bet we could have gotten a lead out of that. Don't tell me there's a temporary bartender here sometimes.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Tarleton?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia
Nope, they
freak
established
again?
that the newspapers got onto it already.
Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions.
Oh, she's right there. You don't have to shout.
What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Coles hasn't gone to yell at
This
anyone.
guy was the barkeep.
Hmm?
This guy was the barkeep
Put out
last
an
night.
APB on the cab.
Yep, sounds like.
3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
Doubt.
We've never served him.
Come on,
You should
man.
be
That was an
playing, man.
obvious
You're so
tell.
much better than me.
That was
Sounds like
obvious.
He's the type of bum you send packing right when he walks through the door.
He's like blinking rapidly and looking off to the side.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
Why is he covering?
She was murdered, Benny. Brutally murdered. If you like this lady, you should give us something.
Also, that
You
wasn't
telling me
doubt.
I'm not cooperating? Watch it, pal.
You want us to catch the guy, sir? We need information, not
Oh,
cute
that
answers
totally
and
failed.
delaying tactics.
I do my best, goddammit. What do you want from a guy?
Any of your regulars know the broad?
Ask him yourself.
LAPD, keep your seats, boys. This won't take a second.
So that's much more elegant when you get the questions right. I remember it from my first playthrough. You can actually coax the bartender to say, actually, she left with a guy who's here right now. Why don't you go talk to him? And then you approach him and he runs.
I see.
But because I didn't get through that part of the dialogue.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Because my impression from the way it actually played out is that this guy probably has totally unrelated reasons for not wanting the police anywhere near him. Like,
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Don't go to sleep on me.
this is a bouncy car.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Hit it. Clean this asshole off the road. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires.
What a terrible shot.
Let's end this farce.
Hey, something hit.
Spin him out. Oh, the road's wet.
Huh. Does the road surface actually play a part in driving controls?
Not in my experience.
Okay. That was a fun little chase sequence.
Yeah, the chases
Put your
are
hands
usually
where I can
pretty
see
good.
them. Name.
Richard Bates. What is it you want?
I'll ask
That's
the
a
question.
face.
Firstly, why did you run?
I don't mix with cops if I can help it.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him.
Yeah,
Are
that
we
was a leap
finished?
that Cole made.
Real leap. And this is clearly a press.
Do you want my partner to sap you?
What
Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your Salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Well, okay. So this is actually proceeding interestingly. We're following a discrete trail of leads.
Yeah, I was noticing that about this case. More so than any other one so far. We're like retracing our steps.
1247.
It is interesting. Because we haven't done it before. It's a novel way of approaching
I need
the
an
story.
APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591.
I think it's part of the reason why
Dispatch
this
to
case
relay
is
all
so
sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Where have we heard that name before?
Thanks for your help.
I don't think that we have. He's a seaman, so...
I feel like...
What
the
now?
sailor, I would presume.
Maurice's trail leads right to this cabbie's back seat, Phelps. We need to find him.
So the partner suggests waiting or stalking the cabbie, but I think I need to wait until that APB hits, so I'm gonna head back to the police station.
Why do I feel like I've heard the name Jessup before?
Stop blocking my car, you idiots.
That's a nice one that guy is there, the convertible.
Yeah, you're right, I should have stolen it.
Is that another police? Should just jack theirs. What are you doing? You have now spent way too long on this.
Well, so actually, the thought going through my mind right now is, oh shit, we have that APB out for this taxi cab. I need to be in a police car, like a car with a radio, in case the APB hits. Because if I just get in that other car I was driving which doesn't have a police radio, I won't
Emergency
know
call. I need to take this.
I know that the game is that sophisticated in as much as you won't get prompted to take side cases if you aren't in a police car. So I'm assuming that since...
Car 11K, we have a
There you
response
go.
on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station. Now heading west on 7th Street.
Garage on 7th Street. Let's hit it, Phelps. The cab driver might tie this whole thing together.
I hope you're right. You see our taxi anywhere?
So the first time I played through it, I didn't get to follow this thread at all because I was using the car that you start out the case with, which happens to not have a radio. You're in like your partner's car
Up
that
ahead,
doesn't have a
turn right.
radio. So
Interesting.
there's a big chunk of this case that you can miss if you don't think to get into
Yellow
it.
cab number 3591.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's on the move, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool too.
And I like that the map is updating in sort of discrete jumps. Like the flag moved when you got the new call.
Yeah, but if I go to this intersection, I'm not going to immediately see the... These types of things are interesting novelties. I'm glad that they don't do them in every case, but I'm also equally glad that we get to experience them,
this is
once.
really interesting.
This is like real police work, or it feels like real police work.
Yep. So there's a cab.
3591, that's him there, Phelps. Hit the siren.
Oh my god, he's not trying to run. What kind of crazy driver is this?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It was a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
I like this guy.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his
Oh,
eye.
this guy's awesome.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
That was a fun little bit part.
So we've got the sailor in custody, and retracing her steps has taken us to the Crystal Ballroom.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got a report of a hobo.
We still got that hobo. That's a hot lead right there.
You never know.
It's definitely looking like it's pointing towards the sailor, and we're kind of tracing the steps until we find evidence. But I really like the way they're structuring this. And I'm still thinking this probably isn't connected to the serial killer. I'm still working on the assumption that there's one serial killer and some copycats. And this barely even feels like a copycat, except that it was a woman dumped in a park.
Yep. Good stuff. Let's pick it up again soon.
All right.